Brian Johnson, a 45-year-old billionaire from Silicon Valley, is considered by many to have crossed the line between common sense and insanity. He is obsessed with the idea of stopping time, wanting to freeze at the age of 18 and retain his youth forever. To achieve his goal, he turned a luxurious mansion, which he managed to earn by selling his shares in an IT company, into a medical center where many special procedures aimed at rejuvenation take place every day. That's not to say this is just an obsessed billionaire who fears the end. No. He's not looking for elixirs, he's questioning science and boldly following all sorts of rules that should take him to a different point and show humanity that it's possible to live a lot more. I'd like to say, you can live longer if you have a couple of $1 billion. Every day of Brian's life is similar to the previous one, except that this man regularly takes a lot of analyses that record any deficiencies. A team of scientists and doctors will change his diet and exercise regime if they notice that something is not enough in his body. Of course, you can't ignore all the equipment, gym and so on. It is worth noting that all of Brian's equipment is in his house not just because he is lazy and he is too lazy to go to the clinic or gym, but because his training and treatment schedule is so tight that there is no time for traveling and breaks. On the one hand, one can say that one loves oneself very much, but on the other hand, one can say that one has consciously deprived oneself of all hobbies, leisure activities and exceptions. On the one hand, it can be seen as a sacrifice to science. Johnson adheres strictly to a vegan lifestyle, eliminating any animal products from his diet. His choice is based on scientific research conducted by a team of scientists working on his project. They believe that vegan diets are the healthiest for the body because they are free of inflammation-causing foods, parasites, and animal hormones that can negatively affect health. The world is full of books that have been written by raw foodists and vegans who have experimented and conducted research on their bodies. Probably one of the most popular is Paul Breg. A man died riding a surfboard at the age of 81. The autopsy showed that his organs and body didn't look like those of people his age and more like a young guy's body. Of course, we've all heard and read plenty of stories about how veganism has ruined thousands of stomachs and bones, but to me, it just doesn't suit everyone and not everyone knows how to follow such ideologies wisely. Johnson has established a strict dietary regime, observing an 11-hour window. He eats only between 6 and 11 in the morning, after which he abstains from food until the next day. His daily diet includes exclusively plant-based foods. On average, he eats more than 31 kilograms of vegetables a month, and his menu changes regularly depending on the results of medical tests and analyses. Johnson's typical breakfast includes a mix of broccoli, greens, cauliflower, black lentils easy to digest and nutritious, mushrooms, garlic and ginger. He also includes berries, nuts, seeds in his diet and can afford to eat about 15 grams of sugar-free dark chocolate and 30 milliliters of olive oil. Of course, all the food is of the highest quality and prepared somewhere close by and using special, better recipes that keep the food less refined and fresher. In addition to his diet, Johnson consumes a wide range of bioactive supplements that he and experts believe are necessary to keep his body in optimal health. He takes over 100 pills, vitamins and other medications daily. I have not gone into detail about what exactly he is taking, and the question about the state of his liver logically arises. Although, judging by how much attention he gets from doctors and how many tests he undergoes, it is being monitored and somehow compensated for or done wisely. Johnson is not alone in his quest to beat old age. In Silicon Valley, many billionaires who have made their fortunes in it and other stocks and securities have decided to defy nature. The idea of rejuvenation with the help of blood is not new. Its origins can be traced back to the 16th century, when the Hungarian Countess Elizabeth Bathory believed that the blood of young girls helped her to preserve her beauty. Johnson doesn't use such brutal methods, naturally, but the idea of blood transfusion remains central to his biohacking. He regularly transfuses himself with his son's blood, believing it will help rejuvenate his body. The procedure is supervised by medical personnel, but the practice is controversial. Johnson is confident that his methods work. He claims to have the heart of a 37-year-old, the skin of a 28-year-old, and the physicality of an 18-year-old youth. However, there is no independent research to back up his claims. Despite his doubts, Johnson continues his race against old age. He spends millions of dollars on rejuvenation procedures, strictly monitors his lifestyle and is confident that his experiments will lead to a breakthrough in science. Prior to his current marriage, Brian had a girlfriend whom he broke up with as soon as he learnt that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. According to the girl herself, who blogged on YouTube, Johnson dumped her, calling her a failed investment in the future. Why an investment? I think you can guess he meant a healthy generation. She also said he fired her from her own company and cut all ties. Johnson himself denies all of the above, justifying it only by saying that his ex wants to sue him for some money and just cash in. She filed a lengthy lawsuit in which she revealed that they had agreed that she would write scripts for him, make clothes for him, and promote his brand and products. She was already popular as she hosted a TV show. The girl also sold her property as she was sure that they were now together and she didn't need anything. Who to trust? I don't know. At first you think he's inadequate and you should believe her. But then you think of Johnny Depp's trial and other similar situations and you start to doubt. Brian Johnson certainly evokes controversial feelings. Some see him as a mad experimenter, others as a pioneer in the quest for immortality. But one thing is certain, his story makes us think about the limits of human possibilities and the price we are willing to pay for eternal youth. Maybe you don't have to pay, though. We should just do it the way it's supposed to be done. But friends, 250 years ago, the average life expectancy was 35 years. Medicine and science are advancing. Johnson is spending his money and his time. Doesn't break any of his daily rules, works out hard and eats exactly as he was told by the medics. Some consider this man to be someone who is simply very afraid of his end, while others consider him to be someone who disagrees with conventional wisdom and is trying to discover new things to science. So to speak, sacrificing his time for entertainment in order to rejuvenate himself and live for 200 years. This video has come to an end, but don't be in a hurry to leave the channel, because I still have so many more interesting videos that you may not have seen yet. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episodes of the podcast. And share in the comments what you think of this rich guy. Is he really so obsessed with his health that he only lives by keeping a schedule, treatments, and tests? Is it true that he is actually a miserable person because life is passing him by? Does he really put himself in such a bind that his own life is like a prison sentence? Will a caloric deficit really give him longevity? And if he does, what's the point? Denying himself everything, he doesn't live a single day as a normal person. There is a wonderful saying about dinner given to the enemy: leave the table slightly hungry as the feeling of satiation comes later. Less bread, salt, sugar and everything will be fine. Everything should be in moderation. No useful conclusions for other people can be drawn from the example of one person.